With us now on The Source, the Dean of Brock's Goodman School of Business. He's also the President of the International Partnership of Business Schools. We'd like to welcome Dr. Andrew Gaudes to the program. Welcome, Andrew.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for being here.
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Now, Dr. Gaudes, one of your areas of research, one of your focuses is on virtual collaboration and telework. And, today, right now, between you and me, this is an example of that in a way. I'm coming to you from I call it my home studio. It's really my den here in Niagara on the Lake. Looks like you're coming to us from home. A lot of people have been thrown into this, but they don't really know the ins and outs of how to do this correctly. Am I right?
Yeah, I'd say most people are just working through the challenges as they come up.
Now, you and we're using Skype today, but I think about a lot of the other ways that people collaborate. Microsoft Teams is something I use for my other job. Zoom, Facebook Instant Messenger, FaceTime, all of these platforms can bring people face to face. Why is it important when people are working remotely that they get a chance to actually collaborate in real time?
Well, we're a social being. We expect to be able to work with others, collaborate with others, have conversations, and also have face-to-face interaction. And, for almost 20 years now, we've had social media platforms that allow a lot of that in some fairly seamless ways. And it's only gotten better and better with every passing year with being able to be on video and being able to have multiple people in video at the same time. So we've been able to be pretty good at messaging back and forth and actually being task oriented with our work, with people moving product from one to the next and sharing in conversations, much like we're doing now. The interesting thing, though, and it's been said for a long time, that high tech also requires high touch. So the technology supports conversations and work, but it doesn't satisfy all of the needs of actually interacting. So this technical aspect of being able to get to know people and work with each other begs the need for also to be able to collaborate with them in a face-to-face and shared space model as well. And because we're not able to do that right now, and telework environments and virtual environments also require people to be able to gather from where they work remotely. So if you're working from home, you encourage people to come together at coffee shops and what have you. But this is a really interesting time in our history right now that you cannot do that. It's not possible. So the one part of the requirement of telework and virtual officing is being starved. And so we really have to work towards addressing that are different and creative from what the norm would have been only a month ago.
It's really easy to get wrapped up in your own things while you're working from home because you aren't communicating with people on a regular basis. They're not there in front of you. So would you recommend that, on a organizational level, that meetings get scheduled so that the people that are working from home do come together to collaborate at specific times?
Well, I think having meetings occasionally is helpful for people to be able to share ideas and thoughts. And some of my one-on-one meetings with my staff and faculty have now been brought into group meetings so that we can actually share ideas and thoughts together rather than limiting it to repeated meetings one after the other and then saying the same thing over and over. And that's helped in just bringing people together in a task-oriented work way. But the other important thing is, let's not forget that technology can be used for also social methods. So having virtual coffee breaks, I'm sure you've heard that being mentioned in other places, is a really important way of getting people together informally. Social events that could be a virtual potluck, for example. There's nothing to say you couldn't bring your own lunch to the table where you are and have a conversation. And, what are you having? I'm having enchiladas. What are you having? Well, I'm having spaghetti. All of that can just add for an interesting opportunity for people to come together without it just being about tasks. Because it's difficult in many ways for us to find that kind of interaction in any other way at this time, because we are within our homes and we're with the people within our homes. And we can collaborate and have phone conversations with family and friends, but we still have that full part of the day, that our waking hours that spent working with individuals on a virtual way.
This past weekend was a good case in point. We organized a little bit of an Easter gathering with our family on Zoom, but it can be quite
Yeah.
chaotic with all of those people on the screen and not knowing when to jump in with your comments.
Yeah, social is a little different because it doesn't have the same structure of working around a table or having someone raising hands and what have you. So a little bit of an adoption of the formal meeting process, bringing it into the social virtual domain is not necessarily a bad thing. We did the same thing yesterday, and it was just bedlam with family across Canada, including people from Australia. And so it was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, but it's certainly not what I would consider one of my structured meetings of the usual workday.
Thank you very much for your time today. That's Dr. Andrew Gaudes, the Dean of Brock's Goodman School of Business, talking about virtual collaboration, something so many of us seem to be doing today as we are isolated from our coworkers. Back in a moment with more on The Source.